Imbibitor Lunae, or Cooler Daniel as most of us call him by, is just like the iPhone 14. It is no longer the newest iPhone on the market, but it is more than capable enough to get the job done. No, seriously, what is the difference between the 15 and the 14? So the question of the day, is Cooler Daniel worth getting as a version 2.0? Short answer, yes with a question mark. As always, aesthetics over mechanics. If you like the character, poll first, questions later. Let's talk about Cooler Daniel. Cooler Daniel is part of the imaginary element of hot, attractive men. With Aventurine coming in 2.1 and whenever they decide to release a 5-star Harmony support, it is safe to say that Cooler Daniel will be eating good for the next 4 to 5 months when it comes to enemies and endgame content having imaginary weakness. His only true competition on this list is Dr. Ratio. Long story short, Dr. Ratio struggles a lot in pure fiction. We all have a ratio in our accounts. Try running Dr. Ratio in pure fiction. It's not fun. Dr. Ratio in pure fiction is like Jordan Poole after he got punched. Cooler Daniel, on the other hand, has been consistent in any endgame content Hoyo has thrown at him. MLC, easy. Golden Gear, easy. Storm Disaster, the bugs were tailor-made for Cooler Daniel. Pure fiction, not completely smooth sailing, but certainly way more viable than Dr. Ratio, just because Cooler Daniel is multi-target. To summarize all that, if you're just zooming in on his element coverage, then Cooler Daniel is an easy pull. He has no glaring issues with any of the in-game content. Future imaginary characters such as Aventurine is on the horizon, meaning the meta in the endgame content will at least favor the imaginary type for the next few months. This is important because future characters dictate what weaknesses endgame enemies usually have. But Star Rail just isn't about one element. Let's zoom out a bit. While Cooler Daniel is basically in a different tax bracket for the imaginary element, that is not the case once we zoom out. Jingliu. Cooler Daniel and Jingliu were the 1A and 1B in the top tier damage deal category of characters for the past few months. But these two are close enough in terms of performance that if you miss out on Cooler Daniel, you can always try for Jingliu when her rerun banner comes along. From personal experience, Jingliu felt more comfortable to use in pure fiction, partly because of her SP efficiency. I think a large part of that comes from the fact that I don't need to manage my SP usage as much with Jingliu. Cooler Daniel needs to use his level 2 enhanced basic to get an AoE effect. That means he needs 2 SP consumption in order to get AoE, while Jingliu gets AoE once she's in her enhanced form. That SP cost to get AoE is not very ideal in pure fiction. I just felt very restricted when I tried to bring Cooler Daniel into pure fiction. If only there was like a certain character who can help mitigate that restrictiveness on Cooler Daniel. A character who can truly set him free. Hey there, this is Sparkle. If she was a Dragon Ball character, she'll be Frieza.
Hello, monkeys!
There's something that she cancels out, and that is Cooler Daniel's SP restriction. This video isn't about how utterly broken Sparkle is, so I'll save the glazing for a later video. Getting Imbibitor Lunae is probably going to mean you have to get Sparkle as well. Let me give you an analogy. Think of Cooler Daniel as french fries, or chips for some of you. Sparkle is the ketchup or whatever condiments you prefer. While french fries are perfectly fine by itself, some condiments will push it to the next level. Following this logic, since Sparkle's banner is next, trying to get Lunae and Sparkle is not going to be ideal for your Primo Gem stash. Guess what? After Sparkle, it's Acheron and Aventurine, both confirmed to be 2.1. Maybe you want one of those two? And if I have to guess who's coming out for 2.2, it will have to be one of these characters, right? Sam, Robin, we don't talk about Duke Inferno. To summarize all that, it's important to look at the timeline of future characters when considering if you're going to pull for Cooler Daniel. If you're just looking for a high damage dealer who can excel in all in-game content, then you have other options other than Lunae, such as Jingliu's rerun banner. You also have to remember that Sparkle is up next. Getting Lunae is most likely going to push you into getting Sparkle as well. Those two being back to back is going to require some serious luck or a quick drain on your Primo Gem reserves. So I can only say this, plan accordingly. At the end of the day, it's all about filling in the needs for your account. Hoyo has been extremely generous with the amount of pulls they give out per patch, but it is nowhere near enough to get every single character, so you're gonna have to do some sacrifices. Everyone's accounts are going to be different, so I can only talk with ifs. If your accounts already have 3, 4, 5, or more damage dealers already, then Lunae should be an easy skip. Current MLC only requires 2 teams, so that is 2 damage dealers at most. But we should strive to build more than 2 damage dealers just to have enough choices for elemental coverages. 3 to 4 is usually the sweet spot of not too many and not too few. Of course, if you have Silver Wolf, then you can get away with building less damage dealers. If your account is rather new and needs a 3rd damage dealer, then Lunae is going to fulfill that role. He has no problem clearing MLC, and Golden Gears, Swarm Disasters are also easily clearable for him. The only endgame content that he usually have issues with is with Pure Fiction. If you're looking for a damage dealer that is at the very least guaranteed to be relevant for the next 3 to 4 months, then Lunae is a solid choice. We know that Aventurine is 2.1, so for the whole patch duration, Imaginary Element is going to get the King's treatment in the endgame content. The same thing can be said for whenever they decide to give us a 5-star Imaginary Harmony character. If you already built these 4-star support characters like Ting Yun Pella, E6 Yukong, and Hanya, then you should consider getting Lunae. With these 4-star support characters, you can instantly make a very solid team for Cooler Daniel. If you plan on getting Sparkle, then Cooler Daniel is probably one of the best damage dealers in the game to pair up with Sparkle. Here's the Cliff Notes version on why Sparkle and Cooler Daniel has insane synergy. Sparkle generates SP, right? Cooler Daniel eats SP faster than Matt Stoney going through a Happy Meal. Sparkle's talent increases allies' damage whenever allies uses SP, which is stackable up to 3 times. So every time someone uses SP, allies do more damage. And guess what? Cooler Daniel's Shrunks enhanced attack costs 3 SP. This means he's capable of fully maximizing the usage of Sparkle's talents. And Cooler Daniel has his own stack mechanics. Consuming his stacks also counts as SP usage, which can also trigger Sparkle's talent. There's more to this, but I think you get the point. Oh, and in case you're wondering, I am not going for Imbibitor Lunae, at least not on my main. The thing is, I already have 3 damage dealers I've built up, and I'm gonna have a 4th and a 5th. So Cooler Daniel just doesn't have a spot in my account. But yeah, that's pretty much it. Thanks for watching. Okay, bye.